Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Now, this week the beta will be happening, but I'm actually going to be out of town visiting my mother in Missouri, the best place on earth. So, in my absence, I am going to release 5 videos this week focusing on characters you should probably play if you're just getting into the beta. Now, this is going off alpha balancing. If there's a lot of balance changes going into the beta, I don't know about any of them, so you may want to take this with a grain of salt. Also, you should probably just play the characters that you enjoy playing the most. But if you want to learn the game, I think the next 5 videos will help you out. It'll give you a foundation to build upon. Now, the first character we're going to be playing is Diablo, and that may be a little bit controversial. I think he's the easiest warrior to understand. He pushes things, he flips things around, and he deals a little bit of damage. It doesn't get much simpler than that. He's really good at initiating team fights, and I like playing him quite a bit, actually. I mean, with a voice like that, how do you go wrong? I mean, really, it just brightens up your day right away. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Haunted Mines. Now, Diablo, as I mentioned, excels at just being big, bulky, and throwing people around. And to help us become bigger and bulkier, we are going to be picking up the Soul Feast trait. Soul Feast talent for our trait. For each soul, gain an additional 5 health and regeneration. It is basically whenever we kill something, whenever something dies nearby, we're going to collect souls from their dead bodies. We're going to be using that to get stronger. When we have 100 souls, if we die, we'll be resurrected instantly, which is really good for a beginner tank. It allows you to get back into the fight at almost any time. Basically, our Q ability pushes things away, our E ability flips them behind us, and then our W ability pushes like fire out in all directions and does a little bit of an AoE. Very, very simple. Very, very easy. At level 10, we basically have a global range initiate. I'm just going to push anyone back away from here. Let's go ahead, charge in on the enemy Tyrande. Flip her over our head if I can get close enough. Oh, there we go. And that should have been in a position where our team could kill her. Looks like Murden is going to go in with a stun, hopefully. And that's going to be 2 kills to start the game off. I'm going to be heading up to the top lane. On the Mines map, the reason I'm heading to the top lane is because our Golem is going to be spawning in the top lane, and I want to help push this lane that the Golem's going to be in later on. I'm just going to assert my authority, walk right up to the wall there, and be like, hey, Nazebo, I'm in your lane, buddy. What are you going to do about it? Let's go ahead and push Nova back, flip her over our head. Hopefully someone will come in and deal a little bit of damage. You are very team-reliant on Diablo. You need to remember that. In the current state of the game, I believe he's going to be reworked a little bit later on. But in the current state of the game, you can't do too much soloing. But you can do a lot of harassment. You could jump in, get their attention, make them rethink their positioning when you basically initiate on the enemy team. But you're not going to be able to like 1v1 very many characters. He is a tank. He is not a bruiser. He is not a solo killer, split pusher extraordinaire. He starts team fights, and he's good at it. And basically, whenever someone gets into my range, I'm gonna pressure them to make them feel like they don't want to be there. And our Vala is mentioning that we have 3 bot. That's not too surprising. Once again, on the mine map, you want to push the lane that has a golem in it. Also on the mine map, you want to head to this camp first because it drops the most skulls. If you look at the mini-map, you'll be able to see my positioning. Unfortunately, I'm by myself right now. Hopefully, we get a little assistance over here. The enemy team is starting to trickle into the mines, and we should, I guess, go over here and help the team. We are going to be picking up our Overpower deals more damage, which isn't a great talent. I would recommend Amplify Healing if you have a healer. Of course, we don't have a healer. Going to be just auto-attacking this Tyrande here. Then I'm going to charge in on Vala, flip her over my head, and try to put her in a position where the team can kill her. The team did not react, but that's okay, because we got a double kill on their Vala. We need to start focusing on skulls again. Let's head down here to the right with our Zagara player here. You're going to notice that I'm sticking with the friendly team a lot. That is because I basically can peel for them all day. We need to protect our carries. I don't want to be off soloing normally. Now, typically my play style that I enjoy is a lot of split pushing, a lot of getting camps behind the enemy's back without them noticing. You're not gonna see me doing that on Diablo. He's a straightforward tank for his team, and I'm gonna stop saying that because I think you get the point now. We are at 42 skulls to the enemy's 33. The enemy team does pick up our siege golem camp at the top of the map. We are getting initiated on here. I'm just going to try to back up, try to avoid this damage. We don't want to die. We do have a decent skull amount starting to pile up, but we don't want to die for no reason, and that would have been a fight where we died for no reason. The friendly team should have tried to disengage there. Instead, they went bowels deep, but no matter. We're going to head over here, try to help Zagara take these down with some easy auto attacks. We actually body blocked it for a little bit there. That was kind of weird. And now we are going to head down to the bottom lane. Looks like Murden was able to get away. Very good. Hello! Alright. So they are probably going to get both of these towers because they don't have any ammunition in them. Just going to try to harass Tyrande here a little bit. Hopefully Kerrigan can land her combo. Missed a little bit, but it looks like we're going to be able to get that kill no problem. The enemy golem is starting to push down this lane. Now, we do have more skulls, so we should probably be pushing. But I'm not, for some reason. I don't know. Why not, man? I'm down here asserting my authority. That's basically how you need to play Diablo. You need to assert your authority. And then people will respect your authority. At this level, you could increase your maximum soul count. That will, once again, because of our talent at the earlier game, that will increase the amount of maximum health we can have and the amount of health regen. But it also requires you not to die. So it's important you don't die. Siphon of the Dead should pretty much never be picked under any circumstances because it's a pile of crap. But Battle Momentum is also a really good choice at this level too. It's going to allow you to get more ultimates off as the game progresses. But I'm going to go with Endless Death. I'm going to become tank here. We're already at 100 souls if you look down to the left, just above my character portrait. So by getting that upgrade is going to allow us to just siphon more souls. It's going to basically, if we die, we don't have nothing. Because without this talent, when you die, it takes 100 souls, and then all of that health that you built up, all of that health regen you built up is basically gone. I'm going to come up here with the friendly team. Let's focus down these walls. Now, these walls obviously don't do a lot, but they do grant vision to the enemy team, and they are also an obstacle that can get in your way, so I like to focus them down. The enemy team should be progressing up here. We're about to get ultimates, which is going to give us a pretty distinct advantage. But let's go ahead and back up. We don't want to be tanking all of this stuff. Zone them back a little bit. Didn't want to engage there, just wanted to make sure our Vala could get out, no problem. We need to find Murky's egg. That definitely needs to be a thing that we do. Looks like the enemy Vala is starting to push up. Was looking for the friendly Vala. We're going to be picking up Apocalypse, which is going to stun all enemy heroes. It's basically a global thing. Let's back up. Uh-oh, we died. Oh no, we're going to be resurrected instantly. Not a huge deal. Just overextended a little bit there. I did not know Tyrande was in that bush. Making my way back up top. It looks like our friendly Vala is going to overextend. Try to go into a 2v4 and get a kill. Typically not a very good idea. While this does look pretty threatening and look like something we should be worried about, it's really not. Because we have a Kerrigan and a Zagara pushing just as hard by themselves in the bottom lane. The mines are going to be opening up in 15 seconds. So we'll just go ahead and clear this. Now, the Nazebo on the enemy team has picked up the Vengeful Spirit ultimate. We hard counter Nazebo with that ultimate. Once again, remember that this is the camp you always want to go to because it drops the most skulls. Oh, hello, I found the enemy team. How you doing, girl? When we see Nazebo using his ultimate, we can just hit R and it will interrupt him. Every single time, without fail. Making one of the most damaging ultimates in the entire game completely nullified. We are going to need to recall here as we do not have a lot of souls for health regen. We're going to be much more beneficial to our team if we can tank. So don't even try to go in with low health. We're just going to go back. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on here. It doesn't look like we need to ult. Looks like they're cleaning it up just fine. Aside from that Nova player at the bottom. We'll just head to the bottom and see if we can pick her off as she tries to leave the mines. No, we're a little bit too far away. If she stays, though, we can kill her. The enemy team did get this mercenary camp, though. It looks like Murky was the one that got it. I am going to deal with that since I'm the only one up here, and the friendly team is getting those skulls just fine. So what you can do, I'm going to push this guy into tower range, and then we're going to flip this guy into tower range. This way the towers will actually help me fight back, and we don't have to worry about just killing it with our crappy damage. Those guys actually sit just out of tower range, and it can be kind of hard to deal with. If you don't reposition them. We are going to be picking up, well, we don't have to worry about too many stuns and things like that, so we're going to be picking up increased range on our Q. It's going to allow us to initiate a little bit more effectively. I'm all up for pushing, but see, basically we're going to lose this tower either way. There's nothing we can do to save this fort here. But we could definitely push with this and allow it to be a bit more effective. I could just throw my ultimate out right now. I think I would hit him. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I'm going to save it. See, basically, you need to know the right time to use your ultimate. Usually, it's when a team fight is just erupting, or you save it for specific characters like Nazebo. When he's using his ultimate, you can completely stop him. And all of a sudden, all of his damage is gone, and he doesn't know what to do. I'm trying to save it for moments like that, but it's been difficult. So don't worry, I remembered which ultimate I picked up. I know when to use it. I'm just biding my time. I'm waiting for that opportunity. Looks like both teams are going to trade a fort here, which is aight. It's aight. The enemy Nova has shown herself when she should not have. We're going to go ahead and use our Q to interrupt that Vala ultimate. And do we have a Nazebo ult coming out? We might. I'm going to try to get in here with a flip. Did not work out. So just back up. Just disengage. No big deal. No harm done. It looks like the enemy team's trying to chase. So we're going to zone for our Kerrigan player here. We don't need to fight this. We should not fight this. Just keep backing up. Murray and I doing a good job of basically making space for our carries. If Vala tumbles forward, we'll knock her back. Basically is what we're going to do. Just going to totally disengage. Very easy. Very easy to do on Diablo. We need to go back for a sippy cup. There's one over here. But it looks like there's about to be a team fight bottom, so I guess I'm going to head there. The mines should be starting to open up soon, so this should be a good team fight for us to win. Waiting for that any ultimate that I could potentially interrupt. Now, we would be very deadly to Nova if she went with the triple tap, but she actually went with Precision Strike. And we should win this pretty wholeheartedly, as Nazebo, one of their primary damage dealers, is up in the top lane. Alright, let's get this fort. Mines are opening up. Unfortunately, we traded 2 for 2. Not too big of a deal. I think at this level, I am going to be picking up overpower gains at an additional charge. So we're going to be able to flip someone over our head twice with this upgrade. The mines are opening. The minions in here will be spawning in 4 seconds, or actually right now. Let's head down here. Start with the camp that gives the most skulls, and then head to the other camp that gives the most skulls. I think this one gives a little bit more, actually. Hi, Murky. Hi, Murky. Please leave. This is my Zagara. That's not the real Nova, I hope. Let's get out of that March of the Murlocs before it deals too much damage. I think our Zagara may have stayed a little bit too deep. We know Nova's in the area, and Nova has a ton of burst damage, so I'm trying to create a wall here so I could potentially absorb any snipes, and I think we did just fine with that. Looks like there is a team fight over here. Our Vala's going to land a good ultimate. Is Nazebo going to ult? Please ult, Nazebo. I'm trying to showcase a point, Nazebo. Man, this Nazebo is not ulting. It's really bothering me. We are going to take him down, and now we are basically standing in the way of Tyrande. We'll push her into the wall, take her down as well. All right. Now, all that remains in the mines is the Golem. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tank it too much. I am regenerating health pretty quickly. We currently have, actually, it's not that much at all, actually. 21 health regen per second. I think he needs a little bit of a buff in that department. We did a build on Stitches a few days ago where I got under 100 health regen per second. The enemy Murky did the right thing again and took our mercenary camp from right under our nose. Murky's doing such a good job of sieging this game. He's basically the biggest threat to us right now because while we're going off and doing these other objectives, yeah, we're winning all of these team fights pretty wholeheartedly, but Murky is making our life very difficult. We'll just rearrange those guys, push them into tower range so the tower kills them a little bit faster. Now, these towers do give 400 XP. Excuse me. These towers right here give 400 XP, which in the early game is a lot of XP. But as of right now, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. A little bit of a frame rate drop because the servers this week have been real weird. No reason to ult yet. We'll try to get out of this. There we go. We can ult now! And we stop the Nazebo, we set up a stun for Vala, we'll flip him over our head, and that's a dead Nazebo. I waited so long for that, and unfortunately I got sniped out by the enemy Tyrande and Nova. We are going to respawn though because we had 138 souls, so once again we're just right back into this fight without any downtime. Really, really good for an initiator. You just have to know when you can go in, when you need to go back. You do not want to throw away your life on Diablo, even though you can resurrect very quickly on Diablo. It's important that you have some self-restraint. Hopefully the friendly team is going to be heading over here to help me get this bruiser camp. There's nothing else for them to be doing, so I don't know what they're doing. I took a lot of health damage here. With this particular build, Diablo is not good in the jungle, but you can build Diablo to be a pretty effective jungler with battle momentum and some other talents. His Lightning Breath ultimate makes him great in the jungle, and with battle momentum you can just auto attack and it reduces the cooldown of your ultimate like so much. You can use it like every 20 seconds or something. We're just going to go ahead and initiate on Tyrande here and then use our second charge to pull her back. We are going to die here. I did overextend a little bit and we didn't actually kill Tyrande. No one focused her, which makes me really sad because that's the whole reason I initiated. But we do have a mercenary camp here pushing down towers. We have a mercenary camp here pushing down towers. And 3 members of the enemy team. Looks like our Vala was right here, but just recalled. As this is progressing, we do see our Muradin jumping in on the enemy Nazebo as a roach gets called down right on top of his head. We have Tyrande still trying to hang on to this fight, using her stuns to try to persuade Muradin to leave, but Muradin's actually in that avatar state, and he's going to be super resilient. He's not going to be stunned very long at all. He's going to have additional health. The March of the Murlocs has once again been released by the enemy Murky, but it looks like our Zagara is just going to heal pretty much back to full health with her, I think it's called an incubation, with her incubation talent. So, at this level, you have a lot of really good options in your talents. Vala, the enemy Vala, overextending into a 1v4. Definitely not something you want to do, and she dies instantaneously because of it. The enemy Tyrande trying to hang on to this as best as she can with those owls. The Murky egg placed in a bad spot. Now Murky is vulnerable to death and could be taken down at any time if the team wants to die for it. But the mines are opening up, and we should fall back and make sure we're in a good spot to enter these mines. Anyway, Storm Shield, really, really good for team utility. Considering we don't have a healer, I think I might go with that. Bolt of the Storm, excuse me, allows you to initiate very effectively. Basically, you can jump right on top of someone and then use your combo rather than having to use your Q to get on top of someone. And then Dying Breath is probably the worst one. You don't want to be dying on Diablo a lot. So having a talent that happens when you die, probably not the best thing in the world. But if you are in a position where you're getting focused down, if you're in a position where you already have a lot of deaths under your belt, Dying Breath, probably a good talent to pick up. Basically, cast your ultimate every time you die. So potentially you could get 2 ultimates off in a team fight, whereas you wouldn't be able to do that otherwise. I think I'm actually going to go with Storm Shield. Oh, if I picked it earlier, I potentially could have saved Zagara there, rather than just talking about my ultimates for the past 20 minutes. The enemy team is trying to split push. I don't think it's too big of a deal. I don't think they're going to get too far. This 100 Skull Golem is going to be a lot more effective. The enemy... Oh, it's bot Vala. It looks like someone disconnected on the enemy team. That's unfortunate. That's why Vala is walking into so many of these team fights completely outnumbered. The enemy team's still split pushing. I don't have much health. So we're going to kind of reposition here. It looks like the enemy Nova wanted to take me down. We're just going to recall. Kill this. This is far more important than that Nova. We'll see what we can do about this push. Looks like it's actually winding down right about now. Let's go ahead and ultimate. That'll combo with Vala's ultimate, and we lock down Nazebo there just fine. That's one of the really good things about the Apocalypse ultimate. If you have good map awareness, you can get a lot of synergies like that off. If your team builds accordingly, of course. We're just going to reposition these guys into fort range so they get taken down. If you don't do that, they'll sit right outside of fort range. Tyrande hitting us with an owl. We're a wizard, Harry! We're going to go to Hogwarts. We just got our invitation. We do get a 100 Skull Golem, though, which is going to be pushing the top lane very aggressively. Tyrande is right here. We could potentially pick up a kill on her if the team reacted, but it looks like they want to push those minions. I'm not worried about this Golem at all. No one should ever be worried about well, in most situations. I don't want to say never. In most situations, people should never be worried about a 0 Skull Golem. So let's just push. Let's make the best of this. Gonna knock her back. Flip her over my head. She's gonna blink. If we had blink, we could have re-engaged there, but not a big deal. She is gonna be casting her ultimate to try to deter this. I cannot do anything about this Nazebo ult, but notice that his ultimate is solely focused on this golem here, so we could just attack the core and pretty much 100% safety. I mean, they're not going to focus us. I'm just going to go ahead and kill this mule, get him off the core. The mule would be repairing it. Just want to make sure we have the best chances at winning as possible. And that is how you play Diablo. I had a few mishaps. I had a few stumbly-wumblies. But I think he's a pretty good character for new players. I think he's the most easy to understand warrior. So as you're getting a feel for the game, you can just jump in on Diablo, knock people around. You'll die a lot, but you'll learn from those deaths and know when you should back up, when you should disengage, and when you should start those team fights. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with a character in another role that I think you should play if you're new to the beta. And I'll see you guys next time.